I started my Etsy shop a little over 6 months ago, and I've made over 300 sales. And I wanted to take you behind the scenes to show what I think made my shop so successful. So come along with me. Hello, my name is Daisha. If you're new here, I like to show the behind the scenes of my small bookish business. I have my business on Etsy currently, but who knows, I may try to grow in the future. I also post bookish content on Instagram and TikTok, so I'm just kind of branching out from my original content to show the behind the scenes of my small business. I have my iPad here with some talking points that I want to go over, and then also a cozy drink because I don't know where this video is going to take me. So when I started scripting this video this morning before I went to my actual 9 to 5, I had a whole plan of I was just going to do a straight talking head video, me, you, just the camera and my iPad. And then I got 3 orders today, and now I'm like, should I kind of combine some video footage of that to overlay the talking part too? So I'm still deciding. But this kind of makes you realize that sometimes when you have a small business, sometimes you have to pivot what you want to do versus prioritizing what you have to do. So like those orders have to get done. This video does not. So that's kind of a bonus tip before you even get started. So I am going to work on those, but I am going to take you behind the scenes. So as I was sketching out this morning, what do I feel has made my shops a success? I came up with 5 different things. So I want to talk about that. So before we even get started, on the screen, I'm going to put just some stats so far. But as of today, because I got the 3 sales this morning, I'm actually at 320 sales. And just for some reference, I did start my Etsy shop in April. I think it was like April 17th. So I have gotten 320 orders since then. And wait, not 320 orders, 320 sales. So sales and orders are 2 different things. So one order might have 3 things. So those 3 things are separate sales. But an order is different. So I have 320 sales. And I'm very proud of that. And I do think there are some things that I've done to set up success in that order. Now, I will say, when I start talking about these, do not click off the video. I promise. Even though some of them are probably things you don't want to hear, they do have merit to them, and they do show that you can be successful. A little bit about my shop. It's mostly physical products, so things that I'm making personally from my house in this actual small studio and shipping to a customer. But I do have a couple of items that are digital products. I have not found as much success with digital products, but I have not put as much research or time into creating those things. Number 1 reason I feel that my shop has been successful is creating content. And I know I'm hearing the boos to the camera now. However, hear me out. My early on success came from posting on my Instagram, known as a Bookstagram, because I posted book content, posting about my annotations and my annotated books on Instagram. And a lot of people were very interested in what I do from there. And that kind of built some hype around what I was doing when I made my shop. So people were already invested and excited. So I know not everyone has that going into the shop. Like, I know not everyone has that as you're going into trying to start selling things. However, I do think that was a vital part of my success. And I'm not going to say it's going to happen overnight. I got lucky because I had actually built up my Instagram for years, and I never thought that I was going to turn this into a business. And then one day when I decided to turn it into a business, I just happened to have the Instagram. However, you can still do this even if you're just starting out. If I had to start from scratch tomorrow, I would do the same thing again. I would start building a community, following similar types of things that I do. So say you crochet, I would be following people that crochet and start like making videos of me crocheting or whatever it is that you do to get my ideas, my products out there. And no, like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to start building some traction. Now, I'm not saying you can't make sales without doing content. However, in terms of like when I talk about my success and the sales that I've had, they definitely started out with there. Because what happened my first day, I brought that traffic to my Etsy, but those initial sales made Etsy say, she made us some money. Let's try showing her products to other people, like organically on Etsy, to see if that also transitions to more money too. Because Etsy is a search engine, but Etsy also wants to make money. So it's not going to hold you back, because Etsy holding you back could be holding them back if you're making sales. So I think just finding what makes sense for whatever your business is and starting to make some content. Just, you can do organic things. Like I like to do packing videos, since I read books and a lot of my products are book related, I might show whatever my new annotation kit is beside a book that I'm reading or something like that. So just organically being able to promote your product is gold. And then also, when you're posting on social media, on Etsy, you have a link called the Save and Share link. Use this link in your bio. Use this link when you share things to your stories. It gives you not a discount. Well, kind of. Etsy takes less fees if someone uses that link because they know that you drove the traffic to Etsy. So I make sure I always use my Save and Share link in any of the links that I post on my social medias. So that way I'm getting that extra money and Etsy is not taking it because they did not bring the traffic to me. So that's number one. Number two, and I think this one kind of branches off from number one. Before I could even post, get excited about it, I did a lot of research and a lot of testing. So even though the social media got me those initial sales, if I did not have a quality product, it would not have brought anybody back to me, right? Like if I'm sending out something that's just trash, even though those initial people bought from me, no one else is going to, especially when the reviews start coming in, right? So when I got started initially, I had a lot to learn. I brought a new printer. I'm trying to figure out what paper works best, what lamination works best. How should I cut the bookmark? What thickness do people prefer? I would literally hand 2 bookmarks to friends. Like I went to book club and handed people bookmarks. I'm like, okay, like what do you think about this? Like feel the texture of this. What do you think of this? And just getting a sample pool of like what people think. Like most people were like, I don't really have a preference, but I like this one a little bit more. And that helped me to build what I liked and also getting some feedback on what other people liked as well. And I feel like that helped me put out a more quality product than I would have if I just sent it out. Now, I am human. I did have an error on one of my bookmarks. And as soon as I realized it, I went back on Etsy. Everyone that bought that bookmark, I sent them a replacement and an apology and I think a coupon code because I was so embarrassed. But again, the more people that you're getting to look at your items, the more you're going to be able to catch any kind of issues or any kind of like things that they think is wrong with it. Pick people that are going to be honest with you. So if something is bad, pick someone who's going to help you see constructively how you can improve, because you would rather hear it from somebody you know and love versus somebody on the internet. I can promise the person that you know is going to be nicer. So number 3 is adapting. I think one of the things that helped me be successful is being able to adapt when I noticed my shop going in a certain way. So let me explain what that means. When I first got started, in my head, I just know everybody loves stickers, right? Everybody who has a e-reader, you put the stickers on your Kindle, you put the stickers, wherever. I like putting my stickers in my journal. I love stickers. I thought stickers would be my bestseller. So when I started my shop, I was obsessed with the stickers and I was having a lot of problems with my cutting machine. I was worried about what sticker paper I should use, what settings I should be printing on, how I should cut, why is it not cutting correctly. Literally up crying at 5 a.m. because the cutting machine will not register the registration marks. Spent all this time. I'm such a perfectionist that even though my shop had been set up for a couple weeks, I haven't actually posted any products because I wanted everything to be perfect. Again, I said this in the last video. You don't have to have perfect. However, you do want to have something that you're proud of. Anyways, so when I finally got the stickers ready, okay, I get on there. I upload my products. I have stickers. I have annotation kits. I have 4 of those. And then I had 4 annotated books. All right. Put them on there. And I'm like, it's in the world. What sold? Annotated books and annotation kits. What did not sell? Stickers. So I spent all that time obsessing over stickers, worried about the stickers. That wasn't my biggest selling point. Now my annotation kits do come with stickers. So I did need to have stickers in there, but I don't have a specific sticker that it says it's coming with. So I could send literally any sticker that I had. So I spent all that time worried about one thing when something else was the problem. So I adapted from there. I was like, okay, I'm about to spend less time designing, creating stickers right now. What if I designed more annotated bookmarks? Because at the time, I think I had dark romance, content, like just a romance, general, and fantasy. So when I realized those were selling really well, I went ahead and added thriller and mystery because I was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. this is clearly working. Let's add more to that. And then same thing with my annotated books. I started out with 4 books, but I know they're likely to sell better if I have more book options. So now I'm at, I don't know, like 20-ish books on my shop. And that's actually one of the things on my to-do list this weekend is I have some other books that I think might be good additions and wanting to look at those. So I think even though I got into this thinking more about stickers, I think not being afraid to adapt and adjust with whatever's going on is very crucial because you just never know. And then also going along with that, do not make huge quantities of something before you know how it's going to go. So for instance, if I had sat here and printed and cut, 50 stickers, which by now I would be fine. However, I would have used up all my sticker paper and I would have to buy more, even though that's not what was selling. And I wasted my time versus if I put that time into something else like my annotated bookmarks. So just do a little bit, see how it goes, and then adjust from there because you never know what's going to be the thing that sells and what's going to be the thing that sits there. This is the other one, and this one's going to be controversial. This was going to be controversial. Etsy ads. I was not a fan of Etsy ads at the beginning. Truly was not a fan of Etsy ads. My husband was like, we can afford to do Etsy ads. We both work 9 to 5s, so this is not my sole income. If this is your sole income, you might need to do things differently. But I have money. Basically, the money that I've been making off of Etsy, it's not money that I have to live off of. So I can have more leeway to play around. So he's like, let's do Etsy ads. And I felt like we were just spending money every day. And I'm like, I'm not seeing the payoff. And I think I actually said in a previous video, I talked about how I wasn't seeing the payoff. So it was so interesting because soon after I made that video when I talked about not loving Etsy ads, I have seen some success with it. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. I have 2 really cool opportunities that came to me specifically from the fact that I was using Etsy ads. So I'm going to pop that up. So I have, like this month alone, I've spent $346 on ads, right? I have made $318 in revenue based on those ads. So that's not all I've made, but that's how much I've made from ads. So this month I'm at a little bit of a loss. Hopefully that turns around. However, overall, the money I've spent on ads is less than the money that I have gotten in revenue. So 2 opportunities that I've had came from ads. One of them was an author who reached out to me. She was doing like a PR box and wanted me to make bookmarks for the PR box, like annotation kits. So it came with a bookmark, pen, highlighter. I don't think we did a sticker. I hadn't ran that ad. She might not have seen my product to be able to reach out and ask me to do that for her. And then after she got the original product, she reached back out to me and she was like, hey, I'm going to do an additional 8 if I can, because she was doing something else. And then she also ordered for her friends because of the quality. And she reached out to me and talked about how great my turnaround time is. So just being able to have those opportunities to get your foot in the door somewhere. So I don't know if I would have had that opportunity had it not been for the ad. Similarly, I had a author reach out to me. I think she was maybe doing a conference because she ordered like 170 bookmarks. So I made close to $400 from those annotation kits, and that one was just the bookmark with the tabs. From that, and that was really cool because it gave me an insight of what even doing the bulk orders look like. That was actually my first bulk order. I didn't know a lot at the time. Like I was definitely having to like research things while I'm like telling her and making sure that I can do these things and make sure I can, fulfill this order. And I'm texting my husband like, are we capable of cutting this many bookmarks this weekend? But I just wonder if I would have had that same opportunity had it not been from the ad, because it showed me, it said like the person clicked on this listing, and from this listing they bought this, which was the unique listing that I made them for the bulk order. So with that being said, Etsy ads can definitely be kind of triggering. Like I've spent over $2,000 in ads, but I've made close to $3,000 in revenue based on those ads. And that's not all of the revenue that I made. I think I'm going to make another video talking more about actual earnings from Etsy. I just wanted to talk about ads because I was definitely against it. I will say, if you're going to start ads, you can start small. Do not make a bunch of changes at once. So I think it takes Etsy's algorithm to figure out like, hey, what's going on. So I think if you just keep changing things and keep changing things, it gets confused. And honestly, I think I'm currently at $15 a day. When we took it up to $20 or maybe even $25 a day, I didn't get any sales. And honestly, my husband changed it and didn't tell me he changed it. But I didn't realize that was the reason. He's like, I think it might be because I took it up. So just play around with that and see. Another thing, if you don't know this about ads, they only charge you if somebody actually clicks on your product. So it's not they're just spending the money. It's only spending if someone's clicking. And then another thing that I think has helped is having a fast turnaround time. So I have a fast processing time. I try at least. I have extended some things out to help myself because when I first made my shop, I was heading into the summer time. So I am a teacher. So I had the summer off. So it was really easy for me to have a quick turnaround time. I have extended it a little bit now, but annotation kits, I think my processing time says 1 to 3 days. And that's doable for me. I did up the processing time on my stickers and my bookmarks. And I've mentioned why, but I'll say it again. I ship those in a envelope with a stamp. And because of that, that mail moves a little bit slower. So I lower my processing time, even though I'm making it still as fast. I'm giving the post office a chance to actually get it to the customer because I did have a couple of instances where Etsy obviously gives them a date, but if I ship it like snail mail, I can't guarantee that date. So if I go ahead and get it out fast, but I lengthen my processing time, it should get there around the time that Etsy said. And then my books do have a longer time. But basically, just working as fast as I can to get it out is nice because a lot of times it will get there faster than Etsy said because of the way that I shipped it. And I do think that helps. I think it makes you feel good, like when somebody gets something like faster than expected, it's like, oh, that was a nice surprise. And then also I have a thank you note that asks for reviews. And I feel like when you get it faster, when you see that, like leave a nice review if you enjoyed this, it's like, oh yeah, because I got it faster. And that's just one of those things that can help people want to, leave a review. All right. And then a little bonus tip. This is more about growth than about sales, but this is also has to do with returning customers. So on my thank you note, I'll show you. I have a QR code that leads to my Instagram. So here's my thank you note. If you watched the last video, I'm still using the written thank you notes. I just think it's a nice personal touch. But on it, I have, hopefully it doesn't try to read that. I don't know. So I have my Instagram QR code. And I just put on there for more bookish fun, follow me on Instagram. And I think what that does is kind of like bring people into my community, especially if they just found me from Etsy, and allows them to get to know me more and then maybe open up that door of communication, that line of communication for them to want to do business with me in the future. And on Etsy, sometimes I can tell if somebody clicked on my link. If somebody clicked on my link, I know they probably already follow me because how did you get the link if you didn't follow me? So on them, I might not send the QR code. Or especially if it's somebody that I know follows me, I don't want them to think that I don't know who they are, so I won't send the code. But if I'm not sure, I usually go ahead and send it. And if it says the order came from an Etsy ad, then I definitely send it because if you clicked on an ad, you don't know anything about me. So, but you could, like I just said, follow me for more bookish fun, but you could say like follow me for additional discounts or follow me for updates on my shop, things like that. So I hope this was helpful. I feel like this was a good overlay of like how I feel like I've been successful, but also I think another part of the success is just finding true joy in this journey has been amazing. Like I feel like I've been so rewarded in this process. I'm definitely obsessed with it. Like I will talk to anybody that wants to hear about my little shop. I kind of get embarrassed sometimes at work because people will ask me and I'm like, me? Like but I think finding that joy is also going to help you be able to be more successful, because when you're happy doing something, you're happy to do it and you're going to put more time and more effort in it. I'm going to stop yapping because I definitely have some work to do, but I hope this resonated with you. I hope you found something. Let me know, do any of these like resonate with you, any of them that you want to try. Also, let me know if there's anything additional you want to see, anything coming up. I hope you're having a great day. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.